Welcome back to the channel, you guys. This is your girl, Wicked Raider, coming in at what's almost the very end of the year, trying to actually come and do a little cleaning up. If you haven't been on the server lately, of course, we've been given the opportunity to go in and switch gear without any cost. For you guys who have been here the last couple of months, most of you know right away, especially if you've ever placed a piece of gear on a champion by mistake and it was like, oh, why did I do that? It just crushes you to the very end. But Plarium is going to roll out over, I think, a course of 3 days, maybe, that you're able to move gear without charge. And that's got to be the most exciting part of it all. Now, we do have Winter's Path that is coming our way, kind of a replacement for the endless number of events and tournaments that have been just zooming back and forth, choosing a path and earning rewards. Very similar to the life path events that we had a little bit earlier in the year. Honestly, for new players, the overall prizes aren't the most exciting, especially if you're not going in gung-ho at this point. But if you still have resources remaining, especially my free-to-play players, I am so proud of you guys. I have literally drained almost every resource that I have. You can tell, even on this account, down to 2 loads of energy for me. It has been a rough go. My overall goal at first, of course, was to not only earn the rare, but go for the fusion. And for some reason with this account, it did not work out. So Wicked Raider almost did not make it, but I had a sacred shard that I just threw to the wind, and you will never guess the 2 individuals that I just pulled that have absolutely made this account my new favorite. Guys, I pulled Tronda. I pull Trunda Guilt Mallet. I don't know how many of you have her. I have watched so many videos about this particular champion. I am absolutely ecstatic. If you thought I was excited when I pull Flyja, which I love this girl. Oh my gosh. Awesome. I have really tried to commit myself to rocking out my dwarf faction, and this is going to be my moment. I was so close to closing out this account. If you haven't heard, I'm starting a brand new free-to-play account January 1st, 2023. I'll probably be up at 6 in the morning. That's my kid's birthday, so the rest of the day is going to go to him. But I definitely want to get in, join you guys on the fun of the new year. And we're going to all kick this off together. So the challenge is going to start January 1st, Sunday morning, and we're going to start a new free-to-play and see exactly how far we're able to get during or throughout the course of 2023. Excited. So excited here. The other thing I pulled that I am excited about, guys, I pulled Drake. I literally pulled Drake. Now, this guy, depending on where you're using him, I've heard some great things about him. Kind of high 3s, low 4s all around. I know that these are 2 kits in particular. I want to pair this guy up with this other guy from my orc area. Terra Beast is another one, pretty decent stats across the board in reviews. But as you guys can see, I have absolutely yet to put any gear. So here's the biggest thing. If you haven't tried it, which we're going to see. Let's say I want to come in and I want to switch out this piece of gear and I want to replace it with this piece of gear. The equipped here is what everyone has been talking about. Guys, the amount of silver that you will actually use swapping gear is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And so I believe the gear swap is supposed to start tomorrow. I want to say it's either the 30th or the 31st, and it's going to run the first day or 2 in January as well. Being able to move this gear, if you think about it, if I wanted to remove, just from my El Hain, let's say I wanted to go in and I wanted to remove and replace all of this gear with something else. So I'm going to go in and try to equip. We're hitting 50. There are certain artifacts that I have moved. If you have any legendary artifacts on a champion, for example, you want to go in and we're going to replace. It's going to be 20 grand here. What's happening, especially once I level up this artifact, sometimes I'm spending 3, 4, 500,000 silver. I've spent close to 800,000 silver reconfiguring a champion. And what that ends up doing for most of us, it will definitely limit the number of champions that you are willing to go in and to work on. Now, here's another hard choice I'm going to make. Because I've decided to keep this account. I'm actually going from a total of 8 accounts. You guys will be proud of me. I'm going down to 4. So we're cutting everything by half. I'm really thinking I've kept 2 other accounts kind of as my backup accounts. And eventually I'll probably trim those down as well. But I like having my backup for CVC just in case. So what those accounts will turn into is they are collection accounts. I will run them every day. I collect all my energy. I collect all of my daily logins. But the only thing I really don't do at that time is I collect shards. I don't pull them for those accounts. And I also will collect the materials for Forge and silver. I wait until CVC on purpose to go in and trim those accounts down every single time. And I've started trimming one down on the first day of CVC. And sometimes you run into a clan, guys, that holds out on you. And so they really, really want to go in and push for it. These accounts have allowed us to push. And so I know we have the person reward challenges coming back up. Those CVC competitions are always so much more difficult. I want to start really building on teams. I know that Tronda is going to be a big one for me. I've got to get the level of my armor for this particular account up. Burgess is another one that I pulled recently that I've been working on. Drake is going to fall into that category. There are a couple of champions like these, like Azure. I keep pulling champions I have not heard very much about. Overall, his stats are kind of interesting, but these are the champions where I want to really stop and go through their kits and take a look at what artifacts and gear pieces would work best for the champion. Guys, if you haven't thought about it, one of the quickest ways for you to, of course, remove gear from a champion, for example, let's say that I have been, just pulled him. Let me give you an example. Let's go back to Elhain. I've been with Elhain, and now I'm going to move this champion to my reserve vault. A lot of people are going to make their choice, or I'm going to move them to my master vault. What it's going to ask you to do is to remove all gear. I think what I'm going to do is trim this down to my top favorite champions. And then I'm going to go back, and if I have champions I don't want to work on at the moment, I will vault them, but I'm going to trim all of my accounts down to the top of the top champions. Those that I'm actually using at this particular portion of the game, those that I have really worked with, I'm going to strip all of their gear, go ahead and elevate my gear, upgrade my gear, and then go back in and re-equip my champions. I think it's going to make a big difference. At this point, I've got to understand that, number one, champions like Deliana, for example, I have quite a few legendaries. But remember what we said was going to be the hindrance of that. Take a look at our levels. So the being pursuant of books is a big one. At this point, nothing on my account is really going to fall below a rare. There are only certain rares that I'm looking to build. I know I want to take Reliquary Tinder, for example, to a level 60. I've actually had to go into some of my accounts, and Soul Bon Voyeur has actually been sacrificed in a couple of cases, only because I've either got to vault them to move them out of my vision if they're not actively being used somewhere. And this is one of those accounts I don't have a lot of life-changing kind of champions, but once I pull Tundra, and I'm thinking about a team, if you come in with her, you have Rhonda, you may have Reliquary Tinder on there for support, maybe Gorgorab, because this guy is so nice. He will be my first to be booked on this account. Don't forget, you still have your Ultimate Death Knights. So I've got a lot of work to do when it comes to booking. And I think for 2023, at least for the first couple of months, my goal will be to run events, to run tournaments, to get my dungeons in, to make sure I'm moving through Doom Tower. There are so many areas, but trying to narrow down where I'm still able to pull high quality shards for later events, and also acquire books. So books is going to be the name of the game. This is kind of how you know if you have moved from early game and you're really trying to get into that early mid game, because that's really where I feel like we're getting at this point. I have my first 2 6 stars. I know out of this group, there are probably about 6 champions I will most definitely 6 star. So at this point, I've got to pick champions that I know will be used as food. I need to move them up. I will keep them bare. And then when the time comes, they're going to be sacrificed in order to progress my account. So, how do you guys plan on handling the ability to switch artifacts? What do you think your account really needs at this point? Like, what areas are really kind of pulling at you at the end of the day so that you know you can make the progression? I know for a lot of us, we've come to the point, especially in dungeons, for example, there's going to be some areas where you have not been able to progress like you want to. We've talked about Iron Twin Fortress. If you're hitting that level 35, level 40, 45, this area will become, maybe for a lot of you guys, a more exciting area of the game. But for me, the soul stones, y'all, have just not panned out. If I earn them, I earn them, which has been nice, but it's not going to be a direct thing. The other area is Sand Devil's Necropolis. It's one thing to start. You already have so many oils that they provided you with. I do appreciate that the drops are kind of straightforward, but at the end of the day, I would much rather be able to use some of those Doom Tower keys that I may not be able to progress through a level, and they're just sitting there instead of having to use energy. So just one of those ideas that maybe player will hold on to. I know for me, the auto climb feature has definitely been working for me. I do want to go in and, since it's a new day, try to do another auto climb. But even on my pay to play account, I am stuck here. Dark Fade, level 40, floor 40 is kind of where I'm stuck. I was really excited the other day to defeat the first secret room tower or the rare room, because this one has always given me issues. I'm fine with the second, third, fourth one, but that first one was a kicker for me. So I definitely want to push and kind of look at other areas like that as well. I'm not going to hold you guys too long. Just kind of want to get an overview of how I'm preparing my account for the big switch out. I know I'm going to move as many items as I can, starting with, of course, this account, and then moving to my others and just getting ready for 2023. Let me know what you guys plan on working on, how important your artifacts you're pulling from Forge are going to be for you. If you've pulled any champions in these last couple of days of 2022 that you think will be a real help to your account, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. If you have not joined a clan, if you're looking for a clan, 22WK, we still have slots available. Of course, this number is going to go down just a little bit more because I'm going to trim off probably 3 more accounts, but I definitely want to get us back over that 25 to 30 range is always comfortable. It makes CVCs a lot easier, but every member I have has really been kicking and rocking it out. And guys, I appreciate you from top to bottom. I will be doing a couple of countdown videos. I'll get those posted before the end of the year as well. Kind of rare champions that have changed my account, epic champions that have changed my account, and legendaries that I'm looking forward to working with and building. I will talk to you guys soon. And as always, happy gaming.